Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone watching this video. Today, I would like to talk about a topic that I realized when I was writing my fictional story, which is how the story will control its author and never the other way around. For those who write stories, some may have already noticed why this happens, but for those who have never written one, you might be wondering, how is that possible? How can the story control its author when it's the author who creates the course of the story and its characters? I used to think the same way, but after I started writing, I realized it's more challenging than it seems, and it's nearly impossible for the author to have absolute control over their work because their characters develop a life of their own. As writers create characters with unique characteristics, motivations, and personalities, these characters can come to life in the author's mind and make decisions that make sense to them, even if it wasn't initially planned. This can lead to unexpected twists in the story that the author didn't foresee. Throughout a story, a well-constructed character has the potential to become a deeply complex and multifaceted figure. Initially, the author may have a specific vision of the character's fate or decisions, but as the narrative progresses and the character develops, they begin to acquire layers of depth that often surprise both the audience and the author themselves. Imagine a protagonist who, at the beginning of the story, is introduced as a selfless person, always willing to do what's right for others. The author may have planned for this trait to define the course of the narrative and lead to a particular outcome. However, as the story unfolds, the character starts facing increasingly complex challenges. These challenges can test the character's limits and expose their inner weaknesses. Their psychological traits, such as fears, past traumas, insecurities, and unrealized ambitions, start playing a significant role in their decisions. Gradually, the character may begin to make decisions that, at first glance, seem selfish or irrational to the author and readers. However, from the character's perspective, these decisions make sense. They are an expression of their evolution throughout the story as they deal with internal conflicts and external pressures. The character is living in that moment, facing unique circumstances, and shaped by their past experiences. Their selfish or irrational actions may be a form of self-defense, a desperate bid for survival, or an attempt to attain something they believe is essential. These challenging decisions can add complexity to the narrative, questioning simplistic notions of good and evil and exploring the ambiguous nature of human morality. They can also create tension and conflict in the story, keeping the audience engaged. For the author, these unexpected changes in the character's behavior can be both challenging and rewarding. They may require adjustments to the plot, but they can also enrich the story, making it more exciting, thought-provoking, and memorable. Ultimately, when a character develops layers throughout the story and makes decisions that reflect their psychological characteristics and the context they are immersed in, it creates a rich and engaging narrative that mirrors the complexity of the human experience. But still, the author can present and change a character's story arc whenever they want. And that's not entirely wrong, but it leads to another point I wanted to make, which is character consistency. Character consistency refers to the continuity in a character's behavior, actions, and decisions throughout the story. For characters to be believable and captivating, they must act in a way that is consistent with their characteristics, motivations, and background stories. Examples: imagine a main character who is initially introduced as a shy, introverted, and withdrawn individual. Throughout the story, they should continue to exhibit introverted traits unless significant events or developments justify a change in their personality. A character seeking revenge for a traumatic event should consistently act in line with this motivation throughout the narrative. Their actions should align with their desire for revenge, and this motivation should be remembered by the author to maintain consistency. Additionally, the way a character speaks should reflect their personality. A sarcastic character should continue to use acerbic humor throughout the story, while a more serious character should maintain a reserved tone. I think you understand what I mean, but this also applies to a world or cosmology. A well-developed cosmology creates a rich and believable environment in which the narrative can unfold. It also helps maintain consistency in the story, ensuring that the actions of the characters and the events that occur within that world make sense within the established context. So far, this is what I've realized while working on my story. For everyone who has followed my video up to this point, thank you very much. Please leave your opinion, like, and share, and see you in the next video.